Tengrism, sometimes stylized as Tengriism, occasionally referred to as Tengrianism, is a modern term for a Central Asian religion characterized by features of shamanism, animism, totemism, both polytheism and monotheism, and ancestor worship. Historically, it was the prevailing religion of the Turks, Mongols, Bulgars, and Hungarians, as well as the Xiongnu and the Huns. It was the state religion of the 6 ancient Turkic states: Göktürks Khaganate, Avar Khaganate, Western Turkic Khaganate, Great Bulgaria, Bulgarian Empire and Eastern Turkia. As a modern revival, Tengrism has been advocated among intellectual circles of the Turkic nations of Central Asia, including Tatarstan, Buryatia, Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan, in the years following the dissolution of the Soviet Union, 1990s to present. It is still actively practiced and undergoing an organized revival in Yakutia, Khakassia, Tuva, and other Turkic nations in Siberia. Buryatism is a movement kindred to Tengrism concentrated in Altai. Kuk and Tengri literally mean blue and sky in Mongolian, and modern Mongolians still pray to Monk Kuk Tengri, eternal blue sky. Therefore Mongolia is sometimes poetically referred to by Mongolians as the land of eternal blue sky. Monk Kuk Tengrianon in Mongolian. In modern Turkey, Tengriism is also known as the Göktürk, sky god religion, Turkish Gök, sky, and Tan, god, corresponding to the Mongolian Kuk, blue, and Tengri, sky, respectively. S first visit is believed to be very important. Drinking Turkish coffee with your friend is believed to be worth 40 years of friendship. The expression Bufinkan Karvanin Krk Hatvad means drinking 1 cup of Turkish coffee together with your friend will not be forgotten for 40 years. There is a convectional rainfall type in Turkey called Kırkindi, Krk plus Ikindi, where Ikindi means mid-afternoon, which is believed to fall 40 days. In Turkey, among children, moon is called Adidi, moon the grandfather, who is considered to be the moon god living in the 6th floor of the sky. At nights, tales are being told about him to children by their parents for them to go to sleep. The nursery rhyme Adidi Adidi, seen in a Venerate, grandfather moon, where is your home, is popular among children. The word Kyrgyz means we are 40 in the Kyrgyz language. Regarding the importance of the number, Kyrgyzstan's flag has a symbol of 40 uniformly spaced rays. A legendary hero called Manas is believed to have 40 regional clans. Tengrist Khazars aided Heraclius by sending 40,000 soldiers during a joint Byzantine Göktürk operation against Persians. A number of Kyrgyz politicians are actively pushing Tengrism to fill the ideological void. Dastan Sarıgülov, Secretary of State and formerly chair of the Kyrgyz State Gold Mining Company, has established Tengriordu, TR, Army of Tengri, which is a civic group that seeks to promote the values and traditions of the Tengrism. There is a Tengrist society in Bishkek, which officially claims almost 500,000 followers, and an international scientific center of Tengrist studies. Both institutions are run by Dastan Sarıgülov, the main theorist of Tengrism in Kyrgyzstan and a member of the parliament. Publications committed to the subject of Tengrism are more and more frequently published in scientific journals of human sciences in Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan. The partisans of this movement endeavor to influence the political circles and have succeeded in spreading their concepts into the governing bodies. Kazakhstan's President Nursultan Nazarbayev and even more frequently former Kyrgyz President Askar Akayev have mentioned that Tengrism is the national and natural religion of the Turkic peoples. Historical Tengrism surrounded the cult of the sky god and chief deity Tengri and incorporated elements of shamanism, animism, totemism and ancestor worship. It lost its importance when the Göktürk Khagans proclaimed Manichaeism the state religion in the 8th century. Tengriism also played a large part in the religious denomination of the Göktürk Empire and the Great Mongol Empire. The name Göktürk translates as Celestial Turk, which directly points out to the devotion to Tengriism. In the 13th century, Genghis Khan and several generations of his followers were also Tengrian believers until his 5th generation descendant Uzbek Khan turned to Islam in the 14th century. The original Great Mongol Khans, although they were followers of Tengri and believed to have received a heavenly mandate to rule the world from him, were nonetheless known for their tolerance towards other confessions. Ancient Mongols' main symbolic items were Great Khan and Sultug for eternal sky. Tengriism main ideology consisted three good things which are eternal sky, Great King and Sult Banner. This fact is well described a statement made by Monk Khan, the fourth great Khan of the Mongol Empire. We believe that there is only one God, by whom we live and by whom we die, and for whom we have an upright heart. But as God gives us the different fingers of the hand, so he gives to men diverse ways to approach him. Account of the Mongols. Diary of William Rubruck, Religious Debate in Court. Documented by W. Rubruck in May 31, 1254. In the context of the modern revival, the term is sometimes used in a much wider sense of the mythology of the Turkic and Mongolian peoples and Central Asian shamanism in general. Tengrist movement in Central Asia. A revival of Tengrism has played a certain role in modern-day Turkic nationalism in Central Asia since the 1990s. In its early phase, it developed in Tatarstan, where a Tengrist periodical, Biznanul, appeared from 1997. The movement spread through other parts of Central Asia in the 2000s, to Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan in particular, and to a lesser extent also to Buryatia and Mongolia, Laurel 2006. Since the 1990s, it has also become usual in Russian language literature to use the term, variously rendered Tengrianism or Tengrianate, in a much more general sense of Mongolian shamanism, to the inclusion of all esoteric traditions native to Central Asia. Buryat scholar Irina S. Urbanova developed a theory of such Tengrianist esoteric traditions of Central Asia during the years following the collapse of the Soviet Union and the resulting revival of national sentiment in the former Soviet republics of Central Asia. While the Tengrist movement has very few active adherents, its discourse of the rehabilitation of a national religion reaches a much larger audience, especially in intellectual circles, presenting, as it does, Islam as being foreign to the Turkic peoples. Adherents are mostly found among the nationalistic parties of Central Asia. Tengrism can thus be interpreted as the Turkic version of Russian neo-paganism. Another related phenomenon is that of the revival of Zoroastrianism in Tajikistan, Laurel 2006. By 2006, there was a Tengrist society in Bishkek, and an international scientific center of Tengrist studies, run by Kyrgyz businessman and politician Dastan Sarigilov. Sarigilov has also established the civic group Tengriordo, Army of Tengri, his ideology incorporating strong features of ethnocentrism and pan-Turkism, but his ideas did not find large support. After the Kyrgyzstani presidential elections of 2005, Sarigilov received the position of state secretary, and he also set up a special working group dealing with ideological issues. Another Kyrgyz proponent of Tengrism, Kubanechbek Tezkabov, was put on trial for inciting religious and ethnic hatred in 2011 because of statements he made in an interview, where he described Kyrgyz mullahs as former alcoholics and murderers. In the judgment of Laurel, 2006, Tengrism allows, in urbanized and deeply Russified circles, a hope for reconnecting with the past. Nomadism, yurts, cattle breeding, the contact with nature, all those elements that form part of the Kyrgyz and Kazakh national imaginative world which people have tried to rehabilitate since the disappearance of the Soviet Union and its ideology. One can, however, notice the risks of a radicalization of the Tengrist discourse into words tinged with anti-Semitism, anti-Western views and xenophobia. Arghun Khan expressed the association of Tengri with imperial legitimacy and military success. The majesty, Su'u, of the Khan is a divine grace or stamp granted by Tengri to a chosen individual and through which Tengri controls the world order. In other words, it is the special presence of Tengri in the person of the Great Khan. Note in this letter that the divine name Tengri or Monk Tengri, eternal heaven, is always placed at the top of the sentence, even if the former sentence has to look like it is incomplete. When the divine name is moved to top of the next sentence, in the middle of the magnified section, the sacred phrase Tengrian Kuchin, power of Tengri, stands completely separate from the other sentences, forming a sacred pause before being followed by the phrase Khaganate, Majesty of the Khan, under the power of the eternal Tengri, under the majesty of the Khan, Kublai Khan. Arghan, our word to the Ayed Farans, King of France. Last year you sent your ambassadors led by Marbasama telling us, if the soldiers of the Il Khan ride in the direction of Misr, Egypt, we ourselves will ride from here and join you, which words we have approved and said, in reply, praying to Tengri, heaven, we will ride on the last month of winter on the year of the tiger and descend on Damascus, on the 15th of the first month of spring. Now, if, being true to your words, you send your soldiers at the appointed time and, worshipping Tengri, we conquer those citizens of Damascus together, we will give you our Islam, Jerusalem. How can it be appropriate if you were to start amassing your soldiers later than the appointed time and appointment? What would be the use of regretting afterwards? Also, if, adding any additional messages, you let your ambassadors fly, to us, on wings, sending us luxuries, falcons, whatever precious articles and beasts there are from the land of the Franks, the power of Tengri, Tengrian Kachin, and the majesty of the Khan, Khaganate, only knows how we will treat you favorably. With these words we have sent Muskerel, Buskelo, the Korchi. Our writing was written while we were at Kondlan on the 6th Kuchid, 6th day of the old moon, of the first month of summer on the